So, what I find super interesting about people and life in general is that every single person that you've ever had an interaction with has a different concept of you, has a different view or different assumption of who you are. And what's interesting about that is that a lot of people who judge you are actually mirroring what they judge in themselves, that they deny in themselves. So I've had to come to terms with this firsthand. You know what I'm saying? Like I've thrown some judgment at some people before. And I don't do that anymore because every time I did, shortly after, I would come to notice, like, what am I actually seeing in myself, right? So I really think that this can be a danger for people to use social media if they do not have a strong sense of who they are. Because there's always going to be someone who's getting the wrong idea. But let's just take this a little further. Not even social media. How this happens with people you may encounter in real life, right? Like, let's say that you meet someone and you're out, you're dressed to perfection, you're having a blast, you're having a few drinks, you're dancing freely. Someone would have the assumption that you have an amazing life, your life is so perfect, you're always so happy, things like that. They don't see that maybe you're at home crying in the shower because the person you love just died. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know that. And then there you go. You might be on the sidewalk crying over somebody that just died, and like you're so deep feeling into the grief and the pain of what's happening. And passerby on the sidewalk is going to think, you're some degenerate. You're just some like piece of shit. Like, they don't see that you just got horrible news, you know what I mean? And that you're feeling through that. They don't see that you might just go home and you have a completely regular life where you're just sitting there. Like, people don't know. So I just think that self concept is just huge. Um, it's very important to know yourself and know who you are. That way, when people do try to tell you who the fuck you are, you're like, no, ma'am, no, sir. I know myself, and what you're saying is false. And the labels that you try to put on me have no, they have no, whatever the word is, no bearing. I think it's a very important lesson for everyone.